Okay.
Julia, I have extraordinarily fresh eggs today for you. Look at that.
Well, that's marvelous.
And what do you have here?
I have an ostrich egg here, and we're doing an egg extravaganza today. All types of egg cooking.
That's exciting.
Great eggs.
And that tiny quail eggs, huh? How are you going to open this?
Well, we're going to try this.
Happy cooking.
Bon appetit. Eggs.
That's what we are cooking today. We're cooking together and we're cooking eggs.
And we're going to start with scrambled eggs.
That's a good idea.
I'll do it the home cook way and you do it the fast pro way.
Okay.
Well, I'll start.
Okay, we'll start with you then. How many eggs do you... Are we doing one portion here? Two, three
Well, I'll do
eggs?
3 eggs.
Right. Maybe I'll break mine too.
Because you have a different system than I do.
Yeah, I'll break it flat.
I think it's more fun to do it with one hand, but then you...
That's true, but I don't like to break it here, I break it here.
I'm going to put a little bit of salt in there.
A bit of pepper.
There's a little pepper.
So far we are in unison here.
Yeah.
We're doing the same eggs.
Remember when I first started out at the Cordon Bleu, my old chef, Monsieur Bunard, said, "No, who's going to make the scrambled eggs?" And I said, "Je." And of course I did it far too hard. Yes, but you'll be done much sooner than I meant to keep a little bit of egg in the bowl.
Oh, I know what you're going to do.
What?
This is the old style, to put a bit of the raw egg at the end to stop the cooking.
Yeah.
Right.
Or to cream them up.
Right.
I like a softly scrambled egg.
Yes, I do too, actually.
Yes, I went to some fast food place and I said I wanted softly scrambled eggs. And they were just like hard nuggets.
So you're going to go slowly there with the spatula?
Very slowly to make kind of just a broken custard.
All right, so I'm going to start mine
So
because...
mine will take 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, true, for mine is not going to take as long. I'm going
yours
to
will
steal
take
a little
minutes
piece of
long.
your butter here. I like to do it in a deeper pan like this and with a whisk. Sometimes people do it in a bain-marie actually, slowly, to prevent. And the idea, of course, in the French style is to cook them very, very fast, for me, with the smallest possible curd so that they don't toughen. And we're going to do a garnish with it, so.
Are you going to put garlic in it?
No, a garnish.
Oh.
A garnish. No garlic, no.
Well, I know how he loves garlic.
No. I do. Actually, I have a little bit of garlic in my tomato, to tell you the truth. So here we go, 3 eggs. So we're doing it with a whisk, with the smallest possible curd. I have some stewed tomato here. I'm going to use as a garnish, some fresh tomato. I'm going to put some crouton with it and some chive. Are you garnishing your eggs? Oh, they're going out well there. That's
Yes,
nice.
but very slowly.
Yes, but I'm interested in seeing the difference, you know, in testing them this way and the other way. You see, here I have a lot of heat which continue. So we'll stop the heat a little bit by putting a dash of cream in it, or fresh butter, so that it stops the cooking. I put salt, pepper in it, and I'm ready to put a little bit of my sauce here. I like to put it in the middle and actually spraying it out this way. And we put the scrambled eggs, which you will see are very soft. Maybe a little bit of chives on top. Those are croutons just done with a little
really
bit of
like
oil.
a luncheon dish, isn't it?
It is, it is.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in France,
That's
very
lovely.
often we serve egg like that as a dish, you know?
Yes, you never serve eggs for breakfast.
No, not very often.
They're mine are done. They're nice and soft, and to make them a little softer, I'm going to put a little more
So you put that
egg in
yeah.
it. But I think you have to remember, too, that it keeps cooking in the pan.
It does.
And I was going to garnish mine with a little bit of smoked salmon.
Oh, that
That's for
sounds good.
very sort of a
I actually
breakfast
love
lunch.
smoked salmon with eggs.
I do too.
It goes well together. There is things which really go well with
Then I'm
egg.
going to borrow a little bit of your chives, if I
Okay.
may.
In the middle, you want it?
Over on that side.
Okay.
Well, now let's taste them.
Yours are very glossy, soft and...
That's because they're soft. Love eggs.
Good. They have a different taste. That's interesting.
Yes, they do.
You like yours better?
I like yours very much. I think mine are a little eggier.
Yeah. Because of the eggs at the end, we don't have to finish the whole thing, right?
No.
They are creamier in a sense.
So try both
Yeah.
and see what you like. They both work. That's what's
Yeah,
good. Now we're going to show you how to make omelets, and it really needs a special technique. We're going to do first an absolutely plain omelet, which Jacques will do.
Okay. So the eggs are ready here. So I'm putting, well, this is a 4 ounce. This is about 4 eggs. So I use the bowl of that fork, and we shake it with one hand. Trying to scramble it as fast as you can, bringing the skin around. The important part of the omelette is now, when I shake this and bring this to the end here. All of the eggs is there, so that I don't have one layer and I'm rolling a carpet. So all of this here, you want to bring your fork around, bring back that skin here, nicely. You want a kind of half moon here, and then that lip here, you want to bang on this side to make it go on itself. Yeah, this is about 3 eggs. It's a bit smaller than I do usually. Then you change hand. You want to bang it here so that it comes totally to the edge so that you can invert it
That's beautiful.
nicely. It should be probably a bit more pointed at the end, like this. But as you can see here, very, very soft.
You can serve it just like that, or you can
Just
fill
like
it.
that.
Now we're going to show a different way.
Hundreds of different
Okay.
garnish you can do.
This is a no-stick pan,
Yes, that's good.
and I have the eggs already. I hope the pan is hot enough. And it's very important for the butter to melt, and then you have to watch it for a minute until the bubbles begin to disappear. And it's just before the butter browns, you're going to be ready to add your eggs. Now we watch. Put on your glasses if you need them, and make sure that the butter foam is subsiding.
That's it.
That's it. And this is a 2-egg omelet,
Oh, that's a short
and
one.
it should
Okay.
sizzle as it goes in.
You need a fork or a spatula, or you turn it?
I just shake it around.
I see.
It's a straight jerk towards you. I like this method because it's kind of fun.
It's different, yes. We do a country omelette like that in France, like at home, usually with larger curd like this. And checking the pan or moving the eggs around so that the liquid eggs between the curd. And that's another way of doing it.
We do it very much the same at the end.
That's it. Bring the other lip.
But then watch, you put the lip of the pan on the plate and then turn it all the way over.
That's good.
And it's all right to do that.
You cut the center like this and put your garnish inside the omelette bread here.
And
Yeah,
this I've got a
breadcrumb.
little sauteed of onion and potatoes and ham.
That's
We
one way.
ought to have a little.
That's grand-mère, you know.
We ought to have a little.
So maybe I'll do an omelette with mushroom.
Yes, do that.
So you know, 2 mushrooms per person is more than enough. And what you do, the bottom part of the mushroom, you cut into little dice or in little pieces. This is to put inside the omelette. And you keep the cap to go on top. So I'm going to put that here. I'm going to saute the mushroom first and the cap. This. I keep just the nice slide, the center. So 2 mushrooms. That's it. So I have 2 types then of mushrooms, some which are diced and some which are in slices like this. I put them in the same skillet to saute. They won't take long. And a little dash of salt on it.
Certainly the no-stick surface has made such a difference in omelette making.
Big difference.
It's just impossible to make one if it sticks.
So as soon as this starts softening a little bit, I'm going to remove the cap. So here, I'll borrow your knife and put those things right on top here. And
well, that'll be the little decoration.
On top of the omelette.
That's a good idea.
And you know, those regular white mushrooms we have at the supermarket are perfectly fine, you know. People think you only have to have special wild mushroom, but not necessary. Okay, so here I have the base, so I can put my omelette here. And again, I start with a fork.
Smells
I did
good.
before. What? That part goes back in there. And again, at the end, you know, I want to bring more of the mixture on this side. And again, rub around. See, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's so beautiful with those non-stick. Otherwise, the other one. Bring the other lip here.
That's very nice the way that turns over there.
Yes.
Isn't it?
I would again bang it to the edge. This way. Looks pretty good. I don't know if it's the right plate. Yellow on yellow. Very soft.
That's kind of chic.
And finally, you put your mushroom like that on top. And this is it. Another classic omelette.
Now what are we going to do?
Well, we do like maybe a piperade. You know, in the south of France, we call omelette basquaise or omelette piperade. And it's usually very close to a Western omelette. Sometimes it's also done with a piece of prosciutto inside. And sometimes only onion, a bit of sliced garlic, and different color pepper I have here, green pepper, red one, and the yellow one. Which now are, you know, you can find those in most of the market. And usually more of a country omelette, this is like a pancake, a flat omelette. And this one usually is done with olive oil. You know, a little bit of olive oil in the south of France, that's what we use. You know, preferably a virgin olive oil for that, be better. Okay, so again, you know, often those, you can put them in the oven under the broiler, you know, to get a color. I like to do it until it's holding together this way. Then after I form a crust, you know, I let it to form a crust.
See how useful this omelette technique is, because you can make really a wonderful meal in just a few minutes.
Not only that, you do breakfast, you do lunch, you do dinner with omelette.
Yeah.
I like to put maybe a tiny bit of oil all around, you know, on the edge to make it slide nicely. So maybe a teaspoon of oil you put around until, see, that will slide around.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And that make it go.
Now what?
And now we have to flip it.
Yeah.
When you flip it, it goes all over you.
All right, you flip it. Flip it out of the way. Hooray! Good.
All right, so you see, again, here I could cook it as long as I want to give it more color. Probably a bit more color than what I did here. And how, depend also how.
You could sprinkle it with cheese and stick it under the broiler.
You can put cheese and put it under the broiler. That's a good idea, too. Boy, I have a big, beautiful plate for that here. And you slide it like a pancake here, you know. Here we put a little piece of parsley again in the middle, just a bit of garnish here. And here is the...
Should we eat a little piece of it?
Yes.
I want to taste this.
Yeah, the piperade. Good.
That's very nice. Now we're going to do poached eggs. I think they're lovely to do it. We're going to do them two ways. I'm going to use a mechanical device, and Jacques is going to use his own hands and ingenuity. So I like to give the eggs a 10-second boil, and I first poke a hole in the large end with a little push pin.
Yes.
Because there's air in the large end, and that expands, and it could crack the egg.
That's right.
So we got our boiling water, and we got to count to 10 seconds, which is 1,000, 2,000,
3,000. For this is a good
4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000.
This will give you a little bit of a shell on the outside so that they hold their shape better.
That's what we hope.
That's great.
Then I'm going to use the oval perforated metal egg poacher. But you can't, it's hard to find them now because people have become so scared of eggs.
So that's,
you know, that's held pretty nicely, hasn't it?
Yes.
I
can already see your eggs are going to be better than mine. Well, you know what? We forgot. Put a little bit of vinegar in there.
But then that's going to be in mine, too.
Oh, well. You mean you don't put vinegar in yours?
No, you don't need to with mine, but that's all
I think
right.
it holds the shape, you know, a little better.
Yeah.
So,
well, it does help.
You break. What we do, I break it on something flat, then open it very close to the water. You know, you want to open it close to the water so you don't burn yourself. Now, what I'd like to do with my egg here is to drag it. You know, drag the top like this. We have several eggs cooking. And if I drag the eggs with the slotted spoon here, it moves it from the bottom. And as soon as it moves from the bottom, then it stays in suspension and cooked. Otherwise, it may stick a little bit. There is another factor that we have here. You have to have enough water. And we have about, well, I would say 4 inches of water, something like this. So this poach, what, 4.5, 5 minutes. It depends on how you like your eggs.
No, I actually think 4.
4 minutes.
Well, I'm going to say this is done.
This is done, so you slide it in cold water. We put them in ice water. It stops the cooking and it washes up the vinegar also. So now I will
that
cool
looks
up
lovely, Jack.
mine. It's touching
Well,
just
that
the
looks
flame
very
back
well.
a little bit. We put them here.
Well, that came
1,
out beautifully, and it looks very eggy.
2, 3. Now, what happened there, when your eggs cool off, you can pick one up. I mean, not yours because they were done in a thing, but the one that I did by itself, and you will see that there is something hanging around. So we trim this a little bit.
That looks lovely.
And the point is that this is the bottom of the egg, this is the top. As you see, it's slightly different. There is always one side which looks better than the other. You see, it's quite soft.
Yeah, that's lovely. Now, we haven't talked enough about this salmonella business. I think when you buy eggs, be sure that you buy them from a place that sells a whole lot of eggs and keeps them always refrigerated. And then you yourself, these are still chilled, but you don't take your eggs in a bowl like this and keep them out. They should be in the refrigerator all the time until you're ready to cook them.
I think that's important, yes.
That's very, very important. Take them seriously. Okay, now what?
We do hollandaise now?
Hollandaise, good.
Classic hollandaise. All right, I have a couple of egg yolk here, and I'm going to put a little bit of water in there and a little bit of lemon juice.
A tablespoon each of lemon juice?
Yes, well, about a tablespoon altogether. And what you want to do, you want your egg yolk to be cooked enough. Often people are so afraid of cooking those egg yolks that actually they are not cooked enough, you know. But of course, you want to be careful not to do scrambled eggs. So, you know, sometimes you move them out, you move them back in when you feel that it's going a bit too fast.
You have to cook it enough so it'll thicken.
As you can see, now it's starting cooking. I start seeing in between the strike of the whisk, start seeing the bottom, you know.
It's definitely, it's thick too, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm removing it there. I think that this is cooked enough.
Looks that way.
That part of the hollandaise we call the sabayon. And sometimes we use that to add to a fish sauce and all that. So here should be really kind of off the heat to start putting your butter.
And that's so terribly important, just little droplets at first. Because if you put in too much,
it goes. And if you start getting too thick, as mine is getting thick here, put a little bit of warm water.
And that's really taken, hasn't it?
Yeah. You want to put a little bit of salt in there? Give me a dash of salt. And I like a little dash of cayenne.
Okay. That gives it a prettier color.
Yes. Whoop, that's good. Beautiful. Okay, so we can finish our eggs now.
We'll start with the eggs Benedict.
Okay,
And
so...
I think that's usually done on an English muffin, but I think the English muffin is a little bit tough to cut. I'd much rather have a nice brioche bread and cut a circle out of it.
All right. I'm putting the eggs to rewarm there. You know, another thing that we have, which is very classic here, to show you, I have some truffle here.
Oh,
And,
nothing wrong with them.
Look at that. Beautiful black tuberum, melanosporum, the black truffle of Périgord. So we put a couple of slices. This is a truffle slicer. This is extravagance.
Yeah,
if you don't have it.
Well, why not, as long as you have it?
Yes, I don't know. And we just warm up the truffle with a little bit of butter for a minute or so. That's about fine. And they get darker like this, and they get a bit soft.
That's lovely.
So I leave them here.
Oh, wait, no, what do we do?
Now we're practically ready.
There, here's your piece of toast. And then we put a little ham on it. This is a kind of a prosciutto ham, which I think is nice. Put in one of your eggs right there.
Whether it's yours or mine, but beautiful. So a bit of the Hollandaise sauce. And of course, this is very delicious. We put our pieces of truffle on top.
Which you don't have to do, but it's nice if someone's given you some.
As long as it's there.
That's lovely.
Beautiful, yes. Okay, this is the classic egg Benedict, right? See here, if you break it, you can see the inside of the yolk. It's just about the right way, right?
That looks just lovely, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
You don't have any of the toast with it. I think one forgets
I haven't eaten
how good Hollandaise
Yes,
is.
I was just going to say that. I haven't eaten that Hollandaise in quite a while. You don't do that all the time, but when you do it and do
Oh,
it
it's
properly, it
delicious.
is good.
Delicious.
Now, for the ostrich, you were kidding with the electric saw, right?
I was.
All right, so we're going to cut it. I'll hold it for you.
Well, put on your goggles.
Yeah, I think it's a
Who
good
knows
idea.
what's going to happen?
Not know what's going to happen. Okay. That's it.
That's it. Oh,
Look at that egg. It's incredible. The yolk, look at the side of that yolk.
That's incredible.
My God.
Now we're going to scramble it, are we?
I can take this out now.
Yeah.
This
That's
is beautiful. I mean, look at the size of that quail egg, next to it. So what we're going to do is, you can make at least 4 or 5 omelettes of what we did this morning. Or one of those big potato
Well, I
omelettes.
think a great big one like this.
Yeah, I would say that this is probably, at that point, 1.5 dozen of eggs that amount to this, Okay, here I think I'm going to put it in there. And we're going to do a big omelette or scrambled eggs with this, right?
It's going to take quite a while to make, Jack.
So let's relax and enjoy it.
Have a little glass of wine.
Yes.
And a bon appetit.
And happy cooking.
We'll probably be here next time still cooking this egg.